When couples start living as roommates in the house, it affects a lot of things. I have an interesting video to share with you all. This man over here was, telling us the couple that came to meet him for therapy, what happened, how they've been living together for a long time, and they're just living as roommates, and they actually don't love each other, but they might actually care about each other. It's a very interesting one, and I would like you all to let's watch the video to the end. It's about 9 minutes thereabout. So after at the end of the video, I will share my own opinion. But welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Maria Davis, and I'm back again with another interesting video. So let's go ahead and watch the video to the end. Then I'll be back with my own opinion.
I'd like to share with you a very powerful conversation that I had about 2.5 months ago that I hesitated to share, but I've been having a lot of conversations relevant to this topic lately. And so I thought it necessary to share this with you. It's my hope that what I share with you is a help to you the way it was a help to this couple. This couple is in their early 30s. They have been married since the age of 21. They have a 4 and 5 year old daughters. And they reached out to me because he had 2 affairs and she stayed. After he had the second affair, she had 1 affair. He found out about it, was upset, as she was. He saw me on Instagram and reached out and said, Doc, we want to try to save our marriage. So when they were on the call, they stated that they wanted to try to make it work. They both had made some mistakes and they wanted to try to fix things. And I said, that's great. I'm in the reconciliation business. I'd be happy to help you. I said, but before we get into all of that, tell me about the climate of your house and your relationship. Like, how do you all get along and talk to one another? He looked at me and said, we don't. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, we don't talk, we don't get along, we don't do anything. He said, we pretty much take care of the house, we take care of the girls, we make sure the girls have what they need. We make sure that the girls go where they need to go, that the house is taken care of. But other than that, there is no other obligation with one another. I said, have you guys been intimate? Are you guys intimate at all? He said, we probably haven't been intimate for at least 2 years. She looked at him, startled. And I said to her, I said, well, what's that about? She said, no, we haven't been intimate for almost 4 years.
What?
He said, well, we've been intimate. Yes, we have. We've done the do. Can't say the word. And she said, no, we haven't been intimate for 4 years. I said, sir, do you understand what she's trying to say to you? He said, no, I'm confused. I said, I did a video on this. Women see intimacy as something that happens from the neck up. Men see something as intimacy that happens from the neck down, all the way down. I said, so she could physically engage with you, but that doesn't count as intimacy. She did it out of obligation. And I said, I want you to remember that word. He said, got it. So I said to them, I said to him first, I said, do you love or think your wife loves you? He said, yeah, resoundingly. I said, why do you say? He said, well, she takes care of me. She takes care of the children. She really is balances all of that well. I can't complain about the type of wife she is in the context of, her duties as a wife. I looked at her. I said, do you think your husband loves you? She said, yes, sir, I do, actually. Yes, he had 2 affairs, but he's a great provider. He's a great father. He takes care of the children. He takes care of me. There's nothing I really ever need. He's always been a great provider and very responsible in that regard. So I do think he loves me. I don't think he would do all of that if he didn't.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So do you all know anybody who's ever been in prison? They look almost confused as to why I'm even asking that question. They were kind of like, no. I said, well, I have. Does the prison care about its prisoners? They both said, no, there's no way. No, they don't care about its prisoners. Like, prison doesn't care about its prisoners. He even went off on this tangent and saying, the system is set up, to do this to the prisoners and do that to the prisoners. Mm-hmm. I let him, have his talk. But I said, when he finished, I said, the prison does care about its prisoners, and I'll prove it. I have friends who've been in prison. I said, number one, how many meals a day do they get? They said, probably 2 or 3. I said, they get 3. I said, now, is it Ruth's Chris? They said, of course not. I said, no. I've seen pictures of the food. It's something you don't want to behold. But do they get to eat? They said, yes. I said, great. I said, do they have a place to stay? They said, yes. I said, right. They have a cell, right? And they get their own cot. They get to sleep in that, right? Yeah. I said, do they get to shower?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. I said, yeah, they get to shower every single day. I said, do they get a chance to earn money? They both say, yeah. I said, yep, they absolutely do. They can earn money. They can work in different areas of the prison, especially based on behavior, things like that. So they have an opportunity to earn a living. I said, so does the prison care for its prisoners? He said, given that definition, Doc, I would say yes. I said, no, it's not given the definition. They do care about its prisoners. I said, but let me give you another question. Does the prison love its prisoners? They said, no, ain't no way. I said, so you easily understand that. Why? They said, well, because there's got to be a difference between love and care. I said, there is, and most people don't know the difference.
True.
So let me give you the scenario. Let's just say a prisoner has a chance to get out of prison tomorrow at noon Eastern. They have been in this prison since they were the age of 21. And here they are now in their mid-30s with the opportunity to get out of prison. And so the warden comes to them and says, hey, at 11 o'clock, an hour before release, listen, we need to get you out of here. We need to take you to booking. We need to get you your things. We need to process some paperwork. Today is your day. You get out. How many prisoners do you know would look at the warden and say, hey, listen, I've been in this prison since the age of 21, and you guys have really taken care of me. And so I want to extend my stay by 5 years. They both started laughing. They said, probably nobody. I said, there's no probably to it. Nobody in the history of prison has ever asked for an extended stay. Why? They said, because they're in prison and they're getting the bare minimum. I said, oh, really? I said, so we know they're getting the bare minimum. We know the prison doesn't love them, but we have also proven that the prison cares for them. Is that correct?
Yeah.
They said, yeah. I said, please understand this about your marriage. Prisons care out of obligation. And when your spouse becomes your roommate, you start caring out of obligation. I said, that's not your spouse. I'm looking at both of them. And I said, the person next to you is not your spouse. That's your roommate. And what you're experiencing is not love, it's care. She bursted out, started crying. He took his glasses off and started grabbing his eyes. You could tell he was getting a little choked up. I said, what y'all are feeling right now is called self-awareness. And self-awareness is when we are honest about who we are, where we are, and what we're doing. And you can't fix anything until you're honest. The fact of the matter is, neither one of you love the other person. How do I know this? They didn't say anything. I said, let me answer. Because love is a choice.
Yeah.
Care is about how you feel. And sometimes we can care out of obligation, regardless of our feeling. But love is a choice. So when you choose to cheat, you choose to stop loving. When you choose to disrespect your partner, you have chosen to stop loving them. I said, but let's take this a step further. I said, not only do you not love each other, I said, you got a 4 and a 5-year-old daughters, right? They said, yeah. I said, you don't love your daughters either. She stopped crying. He put his glasses on and said, no, wait a minute, Doc. You're not going to tell me I don't love my kids. I said, I just told you you don't love your kids. He looked confused. I said, sir, you made a choice to cheat on your wife twice.
Right.
And when you made that decision, you taught your daughters how to handle their mother. You taught your daughters, and I said to her, I said, and then you, ma'am, taught your daughters how to respond to disrespect by not only taking it, not addressing it, but going out and doing the same thing. So my question to both of you is, if love is a decision and you made decisions that put your children in harm's way, do you love your children? She bursted out crying again. He then started to visibly cry. I said, listen, the point of this is not to hurt your feelings. It's to understand that when couples decide to become roommates, then not only do they suffer because of the choices they made, but everything around them has to succumb to those choices. You can fix this marriage. But you've got to have the self-awareness to realize that you both didn't love each other for the last couple of years. When you make that admission, now you can start from ground zero. When we reach self-awareness, the bottom, we can build from that with honesty and truth. Reset our values, reset our boundaries, and learn how to not only live, but how to treat the other person. I said, but please don't confuse being roommates with having a spouse. I hope that made sense. If it did, type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.
Love is a choice. Love is a choice. And to think that, see, this is why I love therapy, because there are some things you don't even know that you're lacking in your relationship once you go to therapy and they tell you things and you realize what is really happening. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. To me, I find this video very interesting. I hope you did too. So basically, the couples are having issues in their marriage, and they went for therapy to be able to work things out. The husband cheated twice. The wife, instead of leaving, or she went ahead to cheat as well. So, but they still living together, doing the normal thing at home. There was nothing different, no changes. Still having intimate, still being intimate and doing the do. But it was not like it used to be. And most times, most couples, I feel like there's a saying that when you've spent like about 5 years with somebody in the same house, you all start living as roommates, or you start living as brothers and sisters. I really don't understand what that means, because I don't just feel like it's to apply to everybody. I don't think it should apply to everybody. I feel like when couples start having that feeling that, oh, we are not actually in love the way we used to be. We're just doing the normal thing. You wake up, I wake up, I do the normal thing, you provide. Like, everybody's just doing their routine. But there is not that first fire that was burning in the relationship is no longer there. I feel like that's a time for couples to go for therapy, because that's the kind of thing that leads to divorce. Because at the end of the day, when you sit down and be like, I'm actually done, I'm tired, I'm not happy, you can't really figure out what's going on, because then it has already gone deep, 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 deep. I love that. I love the fact that I helped them to realize what is really going on in their marriage. I love the illustration he gave, because it shows that yes, you might think you love somebody, but it might just be like you care about the person. It might not basically be like you really love the person, and there's a difference between love and care, which makes sense. It makes sense to me though. At least by now they will know where the problem is coming from, and they will know how they're going to solve it, or probably if they're going to solve it, or they're just going to go their separate ways, because now both of them have cheated on each other. Let's say at the marriage goes, and now they have 2 daughters. And when you have children in the marriage, you already know that you are teaching them how to live. You're teaching them, and it's not about talking and teaching a child, it's what you show them, how you act towards each other. These children learn from simple actions, simple example from the parents. So it's only God that knows what these children must have learned from their parents. We never can tell. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section, and thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell when you subscribe, so you can get notified when I upload interesting video like this one. All right, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.